What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her.
Geralt.
I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here. Birds of a feather.
Let's say I've heard of you.
Master Witcher, this is foolish. The beast near pulled Sozek into the depths, and you're simply chatting with this damsel.
Sozek's alive, and nowhere near the depths. The monsters vanished without a trace.
You best take her seriously, lest you vanish without a trace.
I'm tired of your whining. Get out of here.
Ah, as ever. It's the common folk that get ploughed. Come on, lads!
I apologize for interrupting, but I am Louis Merce, and I am chief person in charge of all matters related to monster hunting in Flotsam. It is in this capacity that I must inquire if you're willing to attempt to resolve the problem of our so-called Kayran, the beast that now blocks all trade traffic on the river.
So, Witcher, are we willing?
I usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway, as the locals put it.
Fine. Your way it is.
You must contact the merchants on the waterfront as regards any rewards. Madame de Tanseville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary negotiations.
That I have.
In that case, don't let me keep you.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to introduce us?
Sheila de Tanserville, advisor to Queen Zulika of Kovir.
Kovir's a long way north.
True. I had my doubts if the Kayran was worth the journey, but those were dispelled with what it showed today.
Here to hunt down some ingredients?
Triss Merigold. Sharp as ever.
You're thinking that...
Troll eyes, ghoul venom, virgin's blood, all those disgusting marvels we take from dying species, to throw into the cauldron at Sabbaths. Right, Triss?
Absolutely. Virgins are a dying breed.
Oh my, your sense of humor seems to be intact too. But enough of these pleasantries. Tell me, Geralt, you saw the tentacle. What do you make of it all?
The beast must be huge. Maybe inhabited one of the Pontar's tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew for some reason, and hunger drove it to seek fresh pastures.
And on the Pontar it found trade barges burgeoning with obese, slow-moving merchants. You're partly correct. Cedric claims the Kayran emerged from the northern swamps approximately 1 month past.
Cedric?
An elf, formerly a Scoia'tael. Strange bird, but he knows quite a bit about the area and its living wonders.
I need to look around, find out a few things.
An investigation, witches' rituals, extracting secrets and such.
More or less. I'll talk to the merchants about the reward, pay Cedric a visit and get back to you.
You'll find me at the inn. I've rented lodgings there, on the upper floor.
You know the inn's also a whorehouse.
Thanks for the warning.
What do you want?
Heard you have a problem.
Ah, if only we had just one. Highways washed out, forests full of bandits, a river beast blocks the port, and tolls at a rise.
Can't help with the tolls, but the monster's a possibility.
A sorceress said the same, but we've yet to see any results.
She's asked me to work with her.
And who's to pay your wage?
That's what I'm here to discuss.
The sorceress was to manage alone. You can split that reward if you wish.
Well, we're managing it together now, so as I see it, you should double the reward.
You jest!
You'll double what you offered Lady de Tanserville, because that's what the contract's worth.
So be it. I assume you to be professionals and worth every last copper paid to you.
It's a deal. Now tell me what you know about the beast.
You're the Witcher, damn it! I've no knowledge of these things.
Who could tell me more?
That ploughing elf, Cedric, most probably. He's supposed to know all about monsters.
Where can I find him?
In the village, outside the walls. Now leave me be.
No offense, but you're scaring my customers.
Are you Geralt of Rivia, sir?
Who's asking?
Thank you, Master, for what you did outside La Valette Castle.
Our family would have perished if not for you. Please accept this modest gift.
I can't accept this.
But
Give my regards to your relatives.
Witcher, I've been awaiting you.
We need to kill a monster that sinks boats.
Afraid?
No, but I suspect we'll need to draw it onto the shore.
Leave that to me.
I can't wait. I bet it's something spectacular.
Believe it. You'll do the honors.
The honors?
Once on the riverbank, you'll kill him, her, whatever it is.
Did you find out where the Kayran came from?
I didn't even try.
So I take it you know it was created by a mage.
I guessed as much. And what of it? Do you wish me to feel guilty, apologize for some madman? I don't intend to. How did you know it was a mage?
I didn't. Just guessed. If we're going to work together, we should get to know each other.
Is that so? Very well. Ask what you will.
Do you always take on Witcher's work?
Occasionally. If it pays exceptionally well. You don't like the competition?
I like your kind of competition.
Let's hope it works out for us both. I haven't travelled this far to have the Kayran slip through my fingers now.
Traveling alone, that can't be pleasant.
I've never needed protection. I have ways of dealing with unpleasant surprises.
What about pleasant surprises?
Is that how you think of yourself, Witcher?
People usually avoid Witchers.
Then I hope I don't regret my decision not to.
What's that? It looks impressive.
A megascope.
What does it do?
Many complicated magical operations. It allows me to communicate with other sorceresses, for instance.
I'll be ready soon.
I certainly hope so.
How's it living with Roach's soldiers?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard without reaching for beer. Shorty's told me about his 16 children, all named after Temerian troop divisions. And I know his nickname has nothing to do with his manhood. Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see you in a good mood.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave man?
Sorry, that's a secret.
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me. The massacre in Rivia, it came back to me, I remember. The angry mob murdering non-humans, a young boy with a pitchfork.
Anything else?
Death, or a state close to it, I'm not sure. I felt life draining out of me.
I was there. I arrived a moment later.
Don't worry, Triss. They're only memories. We have bigger problems to tackle now. Something tells me that in recovering my memory, I'll find out a lot about what we're dealing with now. I know you. I can see you're dying to ask me. What is it?
All right, Thessa. What happened to Foltest?
Want to know the version that is yet to make it to Flotsam? The king died in mysterious circumstances. The Witcher Geralt, his sword covered in blood, was discovered standing over his corpse.
Did you kill him? This'll stay between us, I promise.
The killer escaped before I could get him. I'm being set up.
So what are you gonna do? Run around swinging your sword hoping the killer walks into range?
I don't have to. The killer's in the forest with the Squirtle, and he knows I'm here. We'll find each other.
Geralt, please don't do anything stupid. Don't stick your neck out. If Laredo finds out you were involved in Foltest's assassination...
You gave Vernon a full report on Flotsam. Seen anything unusual around here?
They've got some amazing women at the brothel. You should take a look. One of them.
You know what I mean.
A town like any other. It's got a harbor, an inn, and a stinking muddy river. That's what an ordinary man would say. But we poets also look into people's souls. And things are not good. I saw a robbery sanctioned by law. Town watchmen laughing as they confiscated goods, all the while talking about how they'd finally bring order to the town. I saw drunken thugs beat up an elf woman while no one even flinched. I know these things happen everywhere, but here, it's not motivated by hatred or misguided attempts at meting out justice. People are driven by cold calculation. They're always looking for opportunities to get a little richer.
I need information. Anything that could help me track down the Kingslayers.
I only know gossip. Things folk have been saying since Demiven's death. People are throwing out blame left and right. One day it's the elves, another the Nilfgaardians, then it's Rivians.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory, that. But the mob comes up with even better ones. Know what? Frankly, the most worrying effect of these assassinations is the chaos they've unleashed in people's minds.
What do you mean?
I mean chaos. People don't know what to think, who's good and who's evil. And these are tough times. Who knows what's going to happen?
So, Mr. Master Spy, what's new in the world of politics? Bards singing about anything interesting these days?
Eddern's in trouble. Henselt and his great army are nearing the Pontar and will ford it and strike any day.
Wow, we haven't had a war in a long time.
Like all little boys, he likes to play with his soldiers. But I don't think Kayran will have an easy time of it. Eddern's borders are guarded by Saskia the Dragon Slayer.
Who's she? Some mercenary?
A peasant girl and self-proclaimed commander of something called the Edirnian Voluntary Militia.
Fighting women and bards who play politics. These are strange times. I'm having flashbacks, Dandelion.
What have you remembered?
My own death.
I saw that with my own eyes, as I've told you many times. Yennefer gave her life to save yours. I thought you might have remembered what happened afterwards. I mean, how the devil can you be here now? I hear you, I see you, you're breathing. I mean, you're just alive.
Dandelion, I've had a flashback or two. I don't know everything yet.
Where might you be going?
What kind of question is that? Anyway, know where I can find an elf named Cedric?
Don't get involved in this.
You did turn pale when we met Sheila.
We must have imagined that.
Never mind. I'll find out for myself.
How?
We're going hunting together, right after I find Cedric.
Well, then let's go see him. He should be at the top of his observation tower.
In Belk. It'll be nearly a year now.
Morrill would delight in a day like this, Sir Heron. Enjoy the memory of her. Don't wallow in the longing.
I try. I do. But I cannot believe all the bad blood this disappeared.
Don't let Jay poison your memory of her. Hatred is but an outlet for helplessness.
Thank you, Cedric. Raphael.
Raphael.
Are you Cedric?
Who asks?
Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, the Witcher. And?
Triss Marigold.
Lovely scent, Triss.
Cedric, look at me.
What do you want, Geralt of Rivia?
What are the Scoia'tael fighting for?
Do you ask about the old ones, who hoped to restore our race to its previous glory? Or about the young ones, who fight for survival and out of suicidal revenge?
Yorvith's warriors. Which mold do they fit?
They believe they are still independent, and that there is but one just way to view their cause. In truth, however, they're but a shadow of the Enshe's former glory. They cling to delusions to the very moment when a sword or a noose ends their life, or until they realize the truth themselves, which is, I believe, the worst.
Who exactly are you?
One who warns humans against the dangers that lurk in the forest.
Care to clarify?
I am old, even for an elf. Yet the forest is older. I've lived in it for years and understand it, though it's nothing I can explain. At times I make mistakes and people don't come home.
So you help humans?
I just know if it's safe to venture beyond the gates or not.
Maybe I'll come back when you're sober.
You witches live a long life. You may indeed get to see that day.
The elf woman you were talking about. How did she disappear?
Saharim believes the forest took her.
What do you believe?
Moril simply vanished, almost a year ago now. Some say she was too beautiful, and Dwan must have harmed her.
You believe that?
If I have no evidence before me, I try to trust my feelings. And they tell me the forest did not take her.
Why would you keep that from Saharim?
Because it's meaningless. Perhaps she was murdered, perhaps she departed on her own, never to return. She's gone, and neither I nor Saharim can reverse that.
I'm looking to hunt in this area, and I could use some advice.
I'm no witcher. I set traps, snares, try to keep neckers away from Lobinden, that's all.
I'm aiming a little higher than neckers.
The old man? Meaning the Kayran? Finally, Laredo's splurged. Listen, I'm not one to teach your grandmother to suck eggs. You witchers know your work. But if you pay me, I can prepare a useful trap.
What kind of trap?
Puncturing trap, immobilizing trap, even decoys to pull monsters into an ambush. Whatever you like. Since I can easily finish off an ensnared necker, it should be child's play for you.
I need to make a few orens. You wouldn't happen to have a job for a witcher, would you?
There's never a shortage of work for a witcher in this forest. It's positively teeming with beasts. Though I'm not surprised they come here in droves.
Know why that is?
Cursed places attract all sorts of scum, like dung attracts flies. There was once a great house in the clearing. They locked up lunatics there. During the war with Nilfgaard, it was raised in a fire. The lunatics broiled in their cells. The ruins remain cursed to this day. 2 daredevils went off to explore the ruins recently. They haven't been seen since.
A great house, you say? Tell me more about the building itself.
It was an old manor house that was converted into a mental institution. There was no shortage of lunatics in wartime. They just kept coming. Reverend Mercey locked them up in there and looked after them. If you find the 2 people lost in the ruins of the mental asylum, you stand to be handsomely rewarded. By them or their families.
No harm in trying. I aim to kill the Kayran. Heard you might be able to help.
That depends on the sort of aid you seek.
I need information.
We should have killed it years ago. Now I don't know. The beast has become too large for the riverbed, and it has strange growths on its tentacles, extremely thick skin. Previously, it inhabited a swamp along one of the Pontar's tributaries. Completely wild terrain. Even the Scoia'tael don't venture there. You should go see the wreck of the boat it recently sank. Inspect any traces it's left. See the destruction.
Where's this wreck?
Venture south into the forest, then turn east toward the river. You'll find the ruins of a bridge erected long ago by the Enshe. The wreck lies at their foot.
Thanks, Cedric.
Greetings.
I wonder what's left of that wreck Cedric mentioned.
If the Kayran attacked the boat, it's not likely to be much. We're looking for traces of the beast, not boats. See those footprints?
Yeah, strange place for an evening walk.
Unless you're looking for adventure. Medallion's vibrating. Nice to run into some old friends.
Almost brings a tear to your eye.
Let's examine the traces of the Kayran and get out of here.
Wait a minute.
What are you going to do?
Cast a simple diagnostic spell. It should answer a few questions. This monster's sick, Geralt. It's dying.
How much time does it have left?
A few years? Perhaps a decade and change?
Too long. What's wrong with it? Any information could be useful.
The diagnostic spell showed that some of the cells in its body have mutated.
What makes you think it's dying? I mean, I'm a mutant.
The mucus cells I diagnosed are very similar to cancer cells. In some ways, they're more effective than healthy cells, but they're out of control. They converge to create a red tissue. Very unpleasant.
The poor thing.
But you brought up an interesting point. Want to know the core difference between mutants and non-mutants?
Of course I do.
The changes made through alchemy and magic in your body would require thousands of years to develop on their own. This development would result from genetic errors that would cause your body to adapt, become a more efficient organism, effectively mutate, but over a very long time. When this development occurs over millennia, across multiple generations, we proudly call it natural selection, evolution. When it occurs quickly, in a single organism or a few representatives of a species, we frown on it as mutation.
And here I thought you liked me. What else?
The Kayran's highly venomous.
Any ideas for an antidote?
Your Witcher's metabolism should neutralize small doses of the toxin. But if I were you, I wouldn't rely on my mutations alone. An Ostmark potion should do the trick.
I know the herb, but haven't the faintest where I might find it around here. I need to figure out how I want to fight the Kayran. Maybe I won't need the potion.
Do what you will, but don't say I didn't warn you. Sheila might be eager to get this done, but before you go see her, ask some of the locals about Osmark. You could try Cedric. Here's the formula for the potion. I need to take care of some things. Manage without me for a while? See you.